Welcome to Sam Reads Books. I'm Sam. Welcome back to the YouTube. This week we're going to do something a little bit different from last week. We're going to do a Q&A. I'm still pretty new to all this social media stuff, and so I thought that it would be fun for you guys to get to know me a little bit more. It's something that I can't really do on the Instagram because it's so short form, but now that we have some time, I put up a question board yesterday on my Instagram story for you guys to ask me some questions. So I took a bunch of your questions, I picked some of them out, and I'm going to answer them today on this video. Then at the end of the video, there's going to be a reading update for my week. I will warn you, this week was a pretty light reading week because I had finals for school. So being a full-time student and an influencer is a bit of an arduous task, but next week is going to be a big reading week for me. So next week's reading update will be much bigger. Couple housekeeping announcements. First of all, I posted a couple chapters of the novel that I'm writing on my Patreon. So the link for the Patreon is below. If you want to read a little bit of that, you definitely should sign up for the Patreon. I direct message everybody that joins, and so we can talk and have a conversation and have a good time. Everything's really personal. A Discord server will go up for the Patreon today, so Patreon members will get to be a part of that. And then at the end of each month, we pick a new book club book for the next month. So if you want to get in on Zoom calls, then join the Patreon, do all that stuff. Let's get to some questions. First is from It's Henry. It's Dostoevsky or Kafka. I have to go with Dostoevsky. I've read Crime and Punishment, White Nights, Notes from the Underground, and a couple other things by Dostoevsky. The only thing I've read by Kafka is Metamorphosis in high school, so naturally I didn't like it very much. So I've got to go with Dostoevsky. I love Dostoevsky. I love the way that he writes. And I definitely want to get into some more Kafka. I just haven't really had the time yet, so probably Dostoevsky. What's one piece of advice you would give to the world, book related or not? Be kind. We don't have enough time on earth to be otherwise, so be kind. Do you think classic literature fiction is better than modern fiction? No. At some point, classic literature was also modern fiction, and I've read so many modern books that have changed my perspective on the world and changed my perspective on life. Writing can be just as proficient and just as profound in this age. So I think modern fiction needs just as much of a chance as classic fiction, because in 50 years, things that are considered modern now will be classics. So give modern fiction your time. Don't only read classics, and don't only read modern fiction. Also read classics. Hot coffee or cold coffee? Hot coffee, almost always. What's your favorite season? Probably fall or spring. I like the in-between weather where I can wear a hoodie, but it's not too hot or it's not too cold. I also live in the city, and so when it's cold, it's really, really cold, and when it's hot, it's really, really hot. So I really like those in-between temperatures. What college do you go to, and what do you study? I go to VCU in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm an English major. And the original plan was to become an English teacher, which might very well still happen. But I would also just love to do book reviews and write and read. So this whole influencer avenue has been really interesting for me so far. But yeah, I live in Richmond, Virginia, and my address. Are you a Christian? Yes. How'd you get started with quote unquote female books? You seem open-minded with books. Well, I have several younger sisters. I have 5 sisters. One is older, the rest are younger. And my older sister Hannah used to love Little Women and books like that, and she loved them so much that it made me want to read them. I never really considered them girls' books, but definitely didn't bring them to school around guys that were my friends, because when you whip out Little Women at the lunch table, it's not exactly cool, but it should be. Where did you get the idea to start your social media presence? Nowhere. I was not expecting any of this, and I am eternally grateful for it, but I have been writing a book for a year, and I've been conceptualizing it for probably 4 or 5. And I thought maybe I could get like 100 followers and then sell them the book when I was done with it. And I also just love reading and wanted to talk to people about the books that I love. So at the end of the day, it was really just to create community, and then the community grew and grew and grew, and now there's 80,000 people on the Instagram, which is honestly still hard for me to fathom in a lot of ways. I never thought that I would be an influencer or somebody of influence, but here I am 3 weeks later. So yeah, didn't get the idea for it. It kind of just happened. What book has changed your life the most? Of Mice and Men, it definitely opened my mind to classic literature, so that changed my life in a lot of ways because it opened the door to a lot of reading. And then a book called Peace Like a River, which I talk about all the time, by Leif Anger, is one of the most beautiful books I've ever read, and a beautiful story, and really gave me a lot of hope when I needed it, and made me feel like I was at home. So, and Perks of Being a Wallflower. Big shout out to Perks of Being a Wallflower. 3 books you would like to see a movie adaptation of, and vice versa. Number 1 is definitely The Stormlight Archive, so The Way of Kings would be an awesome adaptation. However, that book is 1,000 pages, so they'd have to cut a lot of stuff out. So I don't really know how they would do it, but it would be really, really awesome. Peace Like a River, which I was just talking about, would be like a really, really beautiful movie. And then a book that I'm reading right now, The Count of Monte Cristo, would also be a really good movie to adapt in a very modern way. Not make the story more modern, but like do it with nice cameras, do it in a really cool way, and yeah. And then vice versa, I don't really have a lot of ideas for that, but Christopher Nolan movies would be really helpful to be able to read. Like Tenet, I think I would understand way more if I could read it. If you had amnesia and forgot every book you've read, what book would you like to read first? Honestly, probably Harry Potter. I just love Harry Potter, and I remember how cozy it made me feel the first time that I read it, and how like exciting it was. I think Harry Potter would be a really good one to reread again for the first time. Do you have a quote from a book through which you feel deeply understood and seen? I don't think this is from a book, but one of my favorite quotes of all time is from a guy named C.S. Lewis, and it says this: "If we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world." All right, let's do a reading update. Number 1, we've got Grapes of Wrath again. I'm working my way through this one kind of slowly. Here's all my book tags. Here's all my annotations. I'm still probably only like 250 pages in, but this book is so beautiful that I've kind of just been taking it slowly. Not because it moves crazy slow, even though it is a little slower paced. I've just really been enjoying it, so I've been trying to savor it. The next 2 I haven't started yet, but I just bought today at the bookstore, so I wanted to show you guys. This is A Time of Gifts by Lee Firmer, not Lay. This is a New York Review book classic, which is one of my favorite publishing companies. I think their covers look really cool. So this is one that I'll probably start reading at some point soon. It looked Christmassy. I thought the cover was really cool, and I haven't read a book by this publisher that I didn't like, so that's one I got. And then another one that got recommended to me is called Gilead by Marilynne Robinson. I've just heard really good things about this, so I bought it today. Next one is another reading update. This is Game of Thrones. I'm probably like 325 pages in. This book is crazy so far. This one I have been flying through, even though I've had finals. I haven't been able to read in the mornings as much, which is usually when I get a lot of my reading done. But this has been really great so far, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And then we've got The Count of Monte Cristo. I've only read like another 100 pages so far. The perspective just shifted, and it's not that I'm not enjoying that part, but it threw me a little bit, and everybody told me that it's going to build up to something awesome. So I've been taking this one a little bit more slow, but as you can see, I'm definitely working hard on it because it's super creased. But yeah, really loving The Count of Monte Cristo so far. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for participating in the Q&A. You always have a place here, and you're always welcome. So reach out if you need anything, and I'll see you next week.